One minimal habit for easy life: planning. Everyone has busy days and agenda filled with activities. Have a drink with your friend, after work events with your colleagues, dinner with your partner. What else? Yoga before work, grocery shopping, cleaning up your home, and don't forget laundry. Spend time with your pet, call your family. And that bill you're supposed to pay 2 days ago? And what about that email you received last week and you wanted but at the end never answered? And all of these things to do, not instead, but next to your career activities. Yes, all together is overwhelming. Having all those thoughts about constantly what you're supposed to do and what you didn't do yet takes energy proportion to the activity itself. In other words, you might not have done this thing, but as you thought about it, you went through all the process of how and when and in which way you should do it. So your brain is already tired and it feels like he already lived the activity itself. My one way to not fall in this vortex is simple: planning. Planning your activities and days is the only one way to not go overwhelmed. But there's the thing. Planning doesn't mean I write impossible tasks with impossible to deliver deadlines. Here is what I do since more than a year now, and I never felt so accomplished in my life. Hi, I'm Alexandra. Welcome back to Brave New World. The way I plan my activities is simple and absolutely effective because the approach is really minimalist. It took me years to get here, so no, it's not something that I always knew, but mostly something that built up with years and experience, of course. Not only my experience, but also the one of friends that had the same challenges as me and with which we shared thoughts about the small improvements or failures in organizing our days and life. How to plan your activities. Simply write down all the things you want and need to do. There is difference between these two. Often we would list only the activities that are time-consuming and really difficult for us, leaving out of the list the ones we enjoy mostly. An example, making a phone call to a friend that lives abroad, or simply taking a couple of hours to walk next to the river listening to your favorite podcast. Writing down all is really important because once it's on the paper, it's out of your head. When it's out of your head, you don't have to pressure anymore and can be present and focus on the moment here and now. I noticed the brain is like a soil. If you want it to perform at the best, you must rotate what you're seeding it with. So one thought at a time leads to one done task at a time, and after comes the next one, but only when that first one has been completed. When you write your tasks, the brain can take a rest, and when you want to consult what you have to do, it's enough to look at your paper. And I personally prefer to take notes by hand with paper and pen, but if you find yourself better doing digital, feel free to use your smartphone or computer. Okay, so I wrote all the things I want to do. Once I have my to-do list, I examine it and visually separate what is important from what is urgent. An example, working on the cat's scratching post is important but not urgent because he uses a little carpet at the moment. Running a blood exam, on the other hand, is important but at the same time a priority as I was feeling tired lately, and also I must keep on track with my cholesterol that is high by default. So, as I will go on a small trip, I must prepare my luggage, so it's not that urgent, but as I'm leaving in a couple of days, it must be done by then. My deadline in this case is clear, and whenever I have 10 minutes, I will pull out of the wardrobe a couple of outfits. Also because we will be traveling, we must bring the cat to my friend's place the evening before, as we already accorded with her by message. I would love to go to the swimming pool on Thursday at noon before leaving, which means it will take some organization, such as a schedule cleaning up for Wednesday evening before dropping the cat at my friend's place. But if I don't manage to swim, that's fine, no stress. I will do it next week when I'm back. Actually, if I don't manage to do all or most of the things, that's absolutely okay, because if I didn't do them, I use this time to do something else and should never regret or feeling guilty about. In other words, never bring stress to yourself because you haven't scratched all from your to-do list. There is time for everything. Even taking a nap is an activity. And if you feel like doing it, you should do it without feeling guilty, because there is time for everything, and the time for what you're doing in this very moment is right now. Do you want to know what I accomplished from my list? Neither the half. Actually, just a couple of things. I got very sick 2 days before leaving for our long weekend, and I had to go to emergency and was hospitalized for a day. You know the time to run some urgent exams and so on. I was home by the evening, but still not feeling good and being very tired. So no cleaning up before leaving. I quickly did my luggage, no swimming, and so on with the other activities from my list. My boyfriend took our kitty to my friend's place while I was resting at home. But I managed to take the call with potential new client, and I was really happy about it. You see, if I don't have my list with things to do, I would have been stressed and feeling even bad for being sick and keep repeating in my head what I have to do, which would have led me to exhaustion. Planning is not about do all of this until the end of the week. Planning is about this is what I have to do, this is priority because more urgent, so I start from here, and meanwhile I'm doing it, I'm present and think about nothing but this, because I don't have to. My list to do is my second brain, and I keep there all I want to accomplish. And if I don't manage today, it will be tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, next week. There will always be something to add to your list, and it's okay. As long as you believe you're doing the best every day and you're present in this moment, moment after moment. You're here and happy with where you are and happy with what you are doing because you are planning your activities. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if that's so, comment here below and leave a like. See you in the next video, and by then I wish you to be brave in a new world of only minimal habits such as planning.